YouTubers, thanks for tuning back into another episode. It's kind of loud in the garage today, so I'm just going to yell over top of it, but let's go ahead and roll this intro and get this party started. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I've been working on the green EK, the F2B car, and I've made quite a bit of progress. So I'm not sure exactly where we're going to start first, but we're just going to dive right into it. So let's go ahead and get started. So boys and girls, while the car is up here on the lift, we'll start with it up top. To summarize everything, we lacked quite a few pieces with drivetrain, shifter linkage, and I went ahead and massaged the axles. So on an F2B car, what I'm really talking about is your half shaft here. So let's see if we can back up a little bit. So your half shaft, we talked about previously clearancing the back of the block so it would fit flush and create a flush drive line. What we didn't do, because the axles were in the car, was test fit your driver's side axle, which is the female shaft on like a DC Integra style axle setup. On this one here in particular, the block actually only interferes with this little bitty clip. So this is your clip that holds your boot on your axle. Whenever you get to this point, it's best to put it in so that way you kind of know where you're going to be marking. And I went ahead and I clearanced that. So in the next little clip, I'll show you guys that everything rotates now forward. It's such a messy job, I didn't attempt to try to record it, but I've got some pictures. If you guys are doing this yourself, leave a comment or DM me. And we'll try to like help each other out. But overall, not really bad at all. So with that being the case, the wheels themselves are 100% functional. The axle itself turns without any interference. So we're doing great here. Next, I want to show you guys what we did up top. So this thing's pretty ratty, but if you guys need some stock exhaust pieces, let me know and you guys can have this piece. I went ahead and pulled it off the car today too. So guys, since the last episode, I was concluding the last episode to work on a few things inside the car. This car used to be an automatic. So in order to be able to convert it to 5-speed, we needed a clutch pedal and then a manual brake and accelerator pedal to be able to swap out what was in the car. So I went ahead and I got that done. And this is the first time I've converted a car. So boy, did I take apart way too many pieces. So I've got that all back together now. The auto shifter is out of the car. So I'll show you guys what we're working with. And we're going to talk about mounting a shifter. So now we've got our pedals all stitched up in here. I don't know if you guys can actually see that, but turn some light on. So we've got our pedals. Our shifter from the automatic is now out. And what we're going to use is the 1320 shifter to bolt it up to a factory shift rod and install it in the car. So guys, this is the shifter we're working with. You guys can find this on eBay. There's plenty of other YouTube videos on how to install it, but it actually bolts in 4 new pieces or new spots. It doesn't match up to the 4 that are already there on the car, so bummer. But this in particular, the lower half of it here, where you see this little spherical bearing, this actually bolts up to your factory shifter rod. So it's got some settings or like some maximum adjustment pieces. So like here on the right-hand side, you see that little nut and bolt. So this would allow you to be able to adjust your right-hand throw for like 3rd gear, 5th gear, things of that nature. And then over here on the left, it would be the same case. So like you've got some adjustment here and some fine tuning capability. This was actually in another car that we had been kind of testing with. So we know it works and it's going to work great for what we're trying to do. So we're going to go ahead and put everything together today, probably off camera, but I'll show you guys in the next episode how it all turns out. And then we'll have this sitting in the car more or less like that. So we'll be in business. Last, guys, what I was doing was trying to get the front end to fit. And In some previous episodes, I had like swapped the factory front end for a 99 2000 front end. And in order to send this car to paint after we're done, which is the plan, the car will be, fully repainted. I didn't want to start with things that were, cosmetically challenged. So I went ahead and I bought a brand new set of fenders. I got a Frank's hood. This is a fiberglass bolt-on hood. So we're going to have to put some hood pins in the front of it. And then I got a brand new bumper cover. So at some point between now and the next episode, we'll finish putting that on. But right now, the car's got a Frank's hood on it, and our headlights, we're just kind of massaging. But let's look at the engine bay. So guys, we're working with a Frank's hood. We've got the rest of our parts that we're going to bolt on between now and that next episode. And let's go ahead and take a look at what I've done in the bay. So with a little bit of paint, a little bit of time, I went ahead and I finished up our valve cover. And I fitted our heater hoses for our intake manifold. So this is pretty cool, guys. I actually bought this thermostat housing pipe previously, and the way it was set up on the guy's car that I bought it from, he had bypassed the heater core. So from here to here was an 10 AN hose, and what that did was allow him to be able to recirculate water to the head, but we wanted to utilize the port on the head to connect back to the heater core. The other port on the head was blocked by the K-Series RBC manifold, and I'll play a clip here. I re-clearanced that last night. I drilled and tapped the coolant, and I tapped the EGR to block it off. So with that little clip that you just saw, the plan is this will connect here. The hose that's missing will connect back to the head, and then we block this off. I went ahead and I built a shopping cart to where we're going to do 16 AN nylon braided hose to a new aluminum 3-quart radiator. I'll weld a bung here on the radiator when it arrives, and I'll weld a bung down there on that when it arrives. Those are aluminum, so we needed to order some 16 AN aluminum bungs, which is very similar to what I did to the valve cover yesterday. So with a little bit of patience, I went ahead and had the valve cover previously stripped. And while it was stripped, we went ahead and drilled the hole that you guys saw gaping in the front of it. And I installed a 16 AN fitting, which this will allow us to build a breather box, whether we stick it over here on the right or we stick it over here on the left. We can now vent the valve cover. So the valve cover is basically awaiting some seals, and it's ready to go on for the final time. In addition to that, guys, we're planning on running our Burton Racing coal unplug kit, and the F22 doesn't have a great option to be able to mount the coils without drilling or welding something to the valve cover. So Honda Rules has actually developed a clamp, and that clamp clamps right here on the top, and it allows you to be able to bolt. There's a threaded insert. I'll put a picture in it here so you guys get the gist. And once that's all together, the way it's set up, you're actually able to bolt the coils on. So that's in the mail coming. We've got our AN pieces coming. We've got some heater hose to pick up, our K-Series to B-Series throttle body adapter, a new fuel rail because our H manifold rail will not fit. And guys, it's coming together. So with the conclusion of this video kind of being here, expect in the next episode to see the shifter, see some of these lines built, and possibly even see this thing be able to kind of take some shape, maybe with a new intercooler. So guys, I've been working really hard at this, and amongst it, it took a year to get here, and a lot of these parts I kind of gathered, and this isn't necessarily something that I would have ever considered before, but dang, I'm enjoying it every bit of the way now. So with that being the case, guys, if you like this video, make sure to leave me a like, hit that thumbs up button. It really helps me out a lot. Consider subscribing to the channel so you'll be able to catch up on all this progress. And stick around. We've got another single cam turbo build coming, and it should be here within a matter of a couple days. So let's go ahead and get this party started. See you guys next time.